Destroy All Podcast. We are Destroy All Microbots. Destructive episode of Destroy All Podcasts. General 5.
Yeah.
Luno, Lieutenant 1.
Luno.
Chef Joey Bolo.
Shalom, bitches.
Shout out to Rare Groove living his best life in California on the set of Snowfall today.
Knows how to party.
Me, I'm 3. Please like, share, subscribe. You may gain clearance tonight. Our year just keeps getting better, and better. A shout out to Shiaki Fitness, which we will discuss a little later on. We did a Zumba class, ladies and gentlemen. We love Cincinnati. We did a Zumba class. These ladies are
Who day?
But tonight, Industry Insider, AR, ladies, gentlemen, give it up, Grant Gatsby.
Yay.
Homie, thank you for joining us. We appreciate you.
I appreciate y'all, man. I appreciate y'all. It's good to finally put all the faces to the team.
We saw you a couple weeks ago with the natives and all that. You were at the show.
Wait, which show?
It was at the copyright show.
It was at copyright show at Oddfellas.
Yes. Yep. Oh, yeah, that was I wasn't there.
What?
I wasn't at the Oddfellows show. Are you talking about with the one with
J Live?
With J Live. Yep, absolutely. Shout out to J Live.
We were there.
Yep.
Yeah, we were.
Yep. Shout out to Animal Crackers and and Wally. Wally was there. I know Wally was there. That was big for me. J Live is if we're talking dead or alive, straight up. For me personally, I'm on an island. I got no choice. J Live is in my top 5, 100%.
I mean, wow. Ain't too many DJs spitting bars.
Not in the midst of a show.
Right.
Let's get back there on the 1s and 2s and still rapping.
Yeah.
And then being able to do it all at the same time.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Yeah.
He's like he's an Anderson .Paak on turntables.
Word.
Man, that's that's a good description.
Word. Shout out J Live.
Yeah, shout out J Live, man. Yep.
In the ever evolving world, the landscape of industry music, and you being an A&R, is an A&R still necessary?
110%. The only difference is there's no titles anymore, really. I mean, right. I'll say an A&R, I'll say a tour manager, I'm a booking agent, I'm a, everybody should be wearing 1,000 hats if they give a shit about their craft.
Right.
And you have to be. Everybody should be a promoter. Everybody should be branding themselves, whatever the craft may be, on or off stage. It's just that nowadays, with the record industry, all the way from the top to the bottom, independent, citywide, statewide, regional to across the world, it's more of where it's a position of connecting people. That's what I do.
Right.
Connect people, put people in positions. What's an idea? Would this work? Who do you know to get that done? How does this benefit the craft? How does this benefit the city? How does this benefit the artist? How does this benefit yourself? Does it or doesn't it? And I think that, when it comes to like titles and positions, at some point in time, I just kind of stopped and just said, hey, I run an entertainment label and I produce and create potential and art for myself and others. So
love it.
That's dope.
Love it.
Yeah.
Tell us more about the label. How'd you get
started in 2004. Here in Columbus, Ohio. I've always been born and raised Columbus, Ohio. Although, as we know, as the world changed with the internet and the matrix, you don't necessarily have to be or go where all that is. And as long as you're doing your job and communicating, you can connect with people. But 2004, everybody else's, and that's why it's separated, everybody else's, because the fans' bodies, the bodies behind the stage, the bodies on the stage, the performers' bodies. Every single individual helps to making an accomplishment. There is not an industry that's more about the teamwork.
Right.
So yeah, got started with a few guys in town. They were recording, making music, and next thing you know, I didn't even know what I wanted to do. I've had poetry published before. I'm an artist myself. I went to Columbus College of Art and Design. I have a vision and a love for all the different forms of art, but I was like, I don't know where I fit in, and it wasn't even like that. Like I'm gonna be involved in music. It was just happen, and next thing you know, I started going to blueprint shows and Logic shows and copyright shows. DJ Mix Master Ice and things like that. And next thing you know, I'm just like, what I saw was this is what I saw in Columbus, Ohio, and in my state. I saw that there was representation was missing, and everything I heard about people like me or above, as we know from the raps on the records we listen to, we're all assholes. We're jankety promoters. We don't give a shit. Well, I do. And I was like, well, I don't rap. I'm not a drummer. So I'm a good communicator and I love people. So, that's why I go by my stage name, Great Gatsby. I want to connect individuals. I want to protect individuals, but I wanted to represent the artists and not the labels. So that's what my goal and my MO has been since the beginning. Yeah.
Dude, that's fantastic. Like, so what in this day and age of music, what's catching your eye? Like, are you randomly looking, or do you go out searching?
Is it still local?
Like a baseball scout? Do you do it like that, or you just see out, be at a bar, and all of a sudden you're like, whoa?
Okay, I got the answer for you. My eyes are open 24/7. I don't look at it as work. I look at it as part of my blood and who I am. And all the art that I enjoy from watching theater when I was a kid, drawing comic books, and as I'm growing, and all those things are now becoming either monetary or career driven, or a huge love for it. I've just been on, as we call, I'm on call 24/7. So I'm always, no matter if I'm on vacation, no matter if I'm, because I'll be that guy. I'll be on vacation, shut off the phone, get in trouble with, girls, hey, we're here. I need to focus on the now and have a good time. And I'll be the guy in a bar, not even two shades to the wind, and some singer gets on. And if that shit gives me goosebumps, I'm crying and I'm going up and giving him money. And I'm like, who are you? What's your handle? What have you done? Do you perform in the Midwest? So it's I feel like I'm on all the time. And I don't think that's even a business thing. It's like just a love for the arts and theater. Yeah. Yep.
Yes. That's like one thing I tell them around here. I'm like, the podcast never stops, bro.
We're always on.
You're always on.
Yes.
When you capture a moment. You know what I'm saying? There could be a moment, so you have to always be on. So I feel you in that capacity. Yes.
Yeah.
For sure. For sure.
Yeah.
Are there any like people that you've worked with where you like this was a complete mistake?
You don't have to say names.
No names. You don't have to say
You
names.
don't have to say names.
No. I say names. I don't give a fuck. I don't hold back. I don't hold nothing back. I'll be choosy about what I say, but
okay, yeah, for sure.
So I'll start by saying this.
No Rico stuff. You know what I'm saying?
Right. No. Now that's a different story. That's a different story. I'm not about to incriminate nobody. Yeah. I've heard. Real quick shout out to Matthew Markoff, aka A&R Extraordinaire M80. He just dropped a book called I think it's 100 or 1,000 Ways I've Almost Died in the Rap Industry, and that shit'll explain sometimes what, no matter who you are and what level, what you potentially could go through. So no, I'm not going to divulge that kind of stuff. But as far as what was the question again?
Other people who you
who you linked up with, and then you were like, man, this
I
was a
shouldn't have been
mistake.
there.
Yeah, this was
So
a bad move.
my favorite, I can't speak for everybody, just myself. The music and the hip hop that I gravitate towards the most, which is conscious, real hip hop, whatever. We know, and at this point in time,
You're a
it's all rap, it's all hip hop, it's the culture. But I always gravitated towards a lot of the heavy MCs and heavy lyrics and you know the Most Defs and the Talib Kweli's and things of that nature. MCs and artists of that kind of format. What I learned is some of my favorite MCs, some not all, but some of the favorite MCs of the styles of hip hop or the atmospheres of rap that I like the most. Sometimes had the biggest dicks as
Yeah.
far as their personality.
Yeah.
And the guys that I wasn't necessarily I love 3 6 Mafia, okay? They have their place. They've molded the whole industry. We're not gonna we can go 1,000 years into that story for them specifically.
On the beer
But
now.
but growing up and even until now, no. Besides a few songs, that was just not my style. But I booked Project Pat, and he was the fucking. I would book him if I was 75 years old and have my last amount of money, and someone said, "Hey, you know, Project Pat's looking for a show," I'd book him. I'd book him. He was cool with he was cool with the college girls. He was cool with the high schoolers, the mom and dads, the goth kids, the rock punk dudes, the hip hops, the gangster kids, the street kids. He came to that show and he talked to everybody as if he didn't grow up the way that he did. We know how he grew up,
Right.
but his atmosphere and his attitude, he got it. I mean, Snoop Dogg, Snoop Dogg's kind of a top tier of that. I didn't necessarily ever have a chance to just personally book him myself because he was always at a level that I'm not, you know, I couldn't afford, but I was involved in some of the shows, but that's the example. So I would say that a lot of the guys that were in that atmosphere of being street or more rough and gritty type of hip hop that wasn't based on lyrics and consciousness necessarily, those guys were the best to book. And the guys that I loved when it became off the stage, they were
Tough
kind
to
of
do.
pretentious assholes.
Right on, right on.
Yes.
I understand that answer fully.
I
understand that.
definitely know some pretentious assholes, and I definitely know some
We've
cool
been
folks.
there.
So
Yeah, we've been there.
I've probably been both.
Yeah, we've been there.
I got a question.
Well, yeah.
I want to know what you like in conscious rappers and stuff like that. Would you book any jazz artists?
Oh yeah. So my passion and my motivation, obviously, no matter how you can help it, if you're real with yourself and others, things are going to come out. And so I love hip hop. It's very clear. That's the bulk of what I do. But it's funny because I've been booking every genre except for country. Um, I've been booking every genre since 2004. And the shows that I literally started doing was okay. The other thing that I recognized, besides the representation of artists, was I go, why is everybody sticking around with each other? Why is everybody being all fucking, like blah blah? I was like, punk and hip hop started in the same fucking city. Okay,
Place.
you're right.
Played in the same
It
club.
literally connects. So why is everybody acting weird? Okay, I get how the country works and the world still whatever. We ain't that advanced, but it's like, okay, well, how can I bring everybody together? That was my goal. Everybody else's entertainment. How can I bring the fans, the artists, and everybody together so that everybody works with each other? So I started doing shows where I'd have a DJ, a punk artist, scream metal, an R&B singer, and a rock band and a hip hop group. And I would put them all together. Shout out to Scarlet and Gray Cafe. That's no longer existence in Columbus, Ohio.
Oh, wow. Yeah, shout out to Scarlet and
yeah,
Gray. Many shows.
So I booked them all. So I put them all together and tried to force people to enjoy, and understand how music is an international language of every single race, age, and religion in the existence of mankind. So That was
Man,
kind of
you think Columbus was sketchy about that? Cincinnati had two whole different hip hops, bro.
Yep.
Like
Yeah.
we had,
oh yeah.
like,
Yeah, shout out to Mr. Dibbs and
yeah,
Ill Poetic, obviously. That's my
yeah.
boy.
Yeah, but
Um,
then we had a whole nother side of the city over there at the Ritz and all that stuff where it was just like, I don't know. They don't come here, we don't go there. There was a few, but
okay, so I was there in
you would have been the one
2001,
that you would have been the
2002.
one that like I gotta book guys from both of these places, right?
Interesting. See, I know a lot about outside of my city, but because this is my city, I know a lot of history. So it's funny you're talking about that, Rob, because I know I know a lot of family and history in Cincinnati, but as far as what you're talking, yeah,
Yeah.
that's pretty deep. I know of the when I lived there for about a year. I bought there was a record shop by uh oh, what was the famous venue that Mr. Dibbs and Atmosphere started with?
Top Cats.
Top Cats. So I know that Rawls went there. Jay Sands is from there with the Lone Cats. Shout out to the Lone Cats.
Yeah,
And
there's a lot of digging spots around the city.
yeah, but see, I didn't know what you were talking. I know about Mad Frogs. I knew about Top Cats.
Yep.
And I booked a couple shows at each of them, and I had some artists there, but that was about it. And that was early 2000s, and
Yeah.
right around the time that I was 2004, 2005. After that kind of mid 2000s, I know that they maybe shut down for a while. I didn't really hear a lot. Yeah.
And I think I know we must have run into each other
Had to.
back then.
That's it, 'cause we were heavy back then.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, super heavy, super heavy. I know, Devin Barres is there, and knowing the Animal Crackers, obviously, Mr. Dibbs. Shout out to Scribble Jam, the history there. I was right after Scribble Jam. I remember I talked to somebody. It wasn't Dibbs, and I was going to get my artists and myself involved and try to do some sponsorship and start to get involved. And it was like the year after the last year.
Decline. Yep.
Yep. Yep. Yep.
Ah, those days.
Beautiful time.
Yeah, that was
Beautiful time.
That's a very
Yeah.
Moment.
history.
So,
Yeah.
as a coordinator, like what's the hardest thing about the position you're in? Is it like meshing people together, creating the right show? Is it like attitudes of artists? Like, what's the hardest thing that you encounter?
So you're talking like when it comes to like setting up, coordinating an event kind of a thing, curating an event.
Absolutely.
Man, there's a lot that goes into it. I would say, let's see, if I had to like pick the hardest part of it or remembering when I started, when the most well, okay. So the side immediate kind of smaller first thing was just like management, babysitting. You know what I'm saying?
Yes.
Dealing with the artists, making sure that they're there on time and sound check and not fucking around and doing what they need to do. I would say that would be one of the more kind of immediate, once you get your shoes wet, once you get your feet wet, oh shit. Um, but I think that independently, the hardest thing independent wise is putting it all together to make a good show.
Yes.
Though I think the hardest thing is not necessarily one or two of the hats you got to wear. It's once you realize and learn what all the hats are, then you go, okay, well, these are all, I'm watching Blueprint and Illogic and all these guys tour and what they're doing. And I'm like, okay, well, shit, there's a lot to this. There's the front door and the tickets and the security and the stage performance and the stage management and the curation and the sound check and the engineering and all the different people that are involved in those different positions that you have to put together. Because for me, I always wore all the hats. It's a team, it's always a team effort. But because I ran like a rabbit, I don't have time for turtles. So it's like, rather you're an artist or you're behind the scenes, I had to keep moving to get it all done. And sometimes it was hard because you got nobody else running with you really. You might have a couple people in the right positions doing some things, and then you can go, okay,
That's
I could
taking
take a
care.
I could
Yeah.
take a breather on this one. My buddy's helping with this. But merch table, then you gotta have merch, because if you don't have merch, what the hell you doing? So yeah, I would say coordinating the entire event and making sure that all the different points are hit and are taken care of to where you can trust them. That was one of that was the biggest learning curve.
Mm.
Hmm.
So, would you, in this day and age, would you encourage someone to stay independent or seek a label partner? Like, what would be your evaluation, or does it depend on the type of artist they are?
Well, well, first of all, it depends on the art. Right? Always that kind of subject definitely depends on the type of artist that you are. Um, as far as what you need or what you want, the problem is that most artists have no clue what they want. Most artists don't even know what a manager is
Right.
supposed to do. They don't know, oh, well, you're supposed to get my coffee and talk to everybody. And no. I mean, maybe if you're MGK or Jay Z at a certain level, and you can afford that, or someone's affording that for you. But that's, what are we talking? 1%, half percent, the other 99.5% to get to that point. Um, you've got to be able to understand one of the biggest things that I do from the beginning was say, fuck me. Learn what I do, and you need to do this, because we are in a day and age where now you want to own your own. You want to own your own copywriting, your own publishing, the whole kit and caboodle. You want to be able to at least control or have a say in all the different facets of your brand and your craft. And I think that it's imperative to have individuals in your team do that, but it's also imperative to understand what those things even are, and if you do even need one. Most individuals that are not signed to a major record label, and we're talking what, fucking 99%, 90%,
Yep.
can actually get things done without any representation. The problem is, as we know, all of us humans, we do what we are skilled in what we are skilled in. And if we want to do that and stick to that, then that's what someone sticks to. So that's why I saw a need for, like, well, if I wear a bunch of these hats, rather I set up a tour for this guy, rather I manage this guy's album project, rather I get hired to promote and push this artist's new project or single, no matter what it is, I've got to be able to wear all these hats so that I can fit in wherever I need to. And I think that it's important to have a team that where you can have some people be able to delegate and help you with that. And I think that's very important. But most people, most artists, like Blueprint, using him as a prime example, and I always talk about Print. Um, Print did everything. He's not even with Rhyme Sayers anymore. He didn't need Rhyme Sayers anymore.
Mhm.
He was able to go, oh, okay, there's that blueprint. Oh, here's a couple pieces that I was missing. Well, I'm going to go ahead and write down every city for the next 5 years that everybody's touring on. I'm going to meet these guys that are at these venues. Thanks for everything you helped with. Need some distribution. I'm not a distributor. Appreciate you, but I don't need to be signed with you.
Mhm.
And this man's going on overseas. So he was his own manager, his own booking agent, his own stage manager, sound man. So recording artist, he's a producer as well. So I'm watching these guys do all these things themselves. And I think in this day and age, you have to be. But as we know, doesn't mean that someone's going to be great at all 5, 6, 7 of those different things.
Right.
So I still believe that what it comes down to is having a team. Doesn't mean that there's paperwork. There might be paperwork for a project or a particular tour or event or album, but you need to know that you need to connect with the individuals, the venue owners, the tour agents, so that when you are ready for certain things, you can contact and you can connect with these individuals to help you in your goal and your vision of what you want to do. But I don't necessarily think that an artist, I mean, like I said, that's my money. That's my bread and butter. But I will tell an artist straight up, even in consultation, hey, take my blueprint. Let's work together for several weeks, a couple months, and then take that and run with it. And fortunately for me, most artists don't want to do all that. So
Yeah, they seem lazy, bro.
They seem lazy.
I consider
it
my
is. In my personal opinion, no harshness. It's
You don't know
lazy.
what you don't know. You don't know what you don't.
And that's okay. Right, exactly.
Yeah. I go. You go.
I want to know, was there any funny moments doing what you're doing, like real funny, like something happened crazy, like, you know, some wild situation?
Positive, like funny,
Yeah,
not too funny.
whatever, you know, just wild,
Hilarious.
hilarious.
We know you've seen the
A lot.
gambit of events.
Yeah.
What's something that like you chuckle about to this day?
That's a good fucking question. I mean, there's a lot of stuff I laugh at in different ways and for different reasons.
Right.
But if I had to like pick something that was like really funny, I'm definitely not going to say the name on this one because he's
Right.
my
That's
boy.
fine.
Probably watching.
But I've seen well, I'll tell you one. I'll tell you one. There was one of the first artists I ever worked with when I started. He never got picked up or anything. I spent way too much time with him. But I was with this artist for several years when I first got started, and he was so disgruntled or angry or frustrated, whatever the case may be. I still haven't figured out to this day of the industry of whatever, that on his final project. I mean, we met with Amalgam Digital. Shout out to Annie XT and Max B. Annie XT of Amalgam Digital put out the original mixtapes of Max B's and helped Max B become who he is to this day. And we did a show, not Max B, but I did a show with this artist, and we were pushing this project. We were getting some looks. A lot of it was, unfortunately, it wasn't just through his music, although he was a dope. He could spit and rap his ass off, but I was really promoting and pushing his brand, and was able to get this contact. And as these things are going on, we do his album release show, and even locally we had about 75 plus people there. It was a good local event, and he just sat up on stage and just started cussing everybody out.
Yes.
And I'm not talking like
Mad rapper style.
like a little guy over here and kind of trying to make this joke and part of the routine. I'm saying that he like stopped his show and started saying "fuck you" and "fuck you" and "fuck you." I even had friends and family there. I like, and he was like serious about it, and even though we had some issues, like there was clearly some lines that were not being able to connect. That last 6 months to a year, but when he was doing, I mean, these are individuals. There's people there like Rawls and people that I respect that I'm trying to work with, and he's sitting there saying that. He said it to the bar, said it to the owner and his wife.
He told him to make some noise, and everybody was quiet. And he started cutting them out.
No,
You know
dude,
what?
the entire place went dead, just straight up. And as pissed off as I wanted to be, and I should have been, which I was, After like 30 seconds of it or so, I'm like, I just started laughing. Like, what in the fuck? Well, this is obviously a red flag, and this is my
Yeah.
sign.
We can't work
So,
together anymore.
yeah.
That's
So
crazy.
it might have not been funny at the time, but I almost had to. We had argued so much. I had been splitting hairs so much, pulling like tooth and nail, that I just started like chuckling, like, wow.
He went total.
Okay, this is what you deserve, Grant. You should have fucking backed out when you knew.
Yeah.
So,
We always know. Like, sometimes our emotions dig us a deeper hole.
yeah.
So can I pivot left for a second?
Go ahead.
Being from Columbus,
Columbus, Ohio.
you know what this week means.
It's a big week.
It's a big week.
Yeah.
And everything blue and everything yellow shall be crossed
Thank
out. Can we,
That's right, baby.
we just take a moment to say, we're not going down again, baby? We're not
Man,
going again.
look.
Part one
Let
gave
me
us
explain
the
something.
business.
Look. We call it, we bleed scarlet and gray.
Yes.
Go.
We bleed scarlet and gray.
Let's go.
Now,
That's what they say.
on the flip side, I'm a fan. My dad graduated from Ohio State University. Shout out to Dean the Bean Bollinger. It's like I get it, but fuck the NCAA anyways. Because at the end of the day, how is it that the largest division in college football out of all the sports in the entire world, the most money makers, the most fan bases, the largest universities or institutions, rather it's professional or college, whatever. How is it that Division One NCAA fucking football did not have an actual fucking playoff? I thought I was 10 years old. Like, what?
Yes.
Notre Dame doesn't get to play anybody? They're just in the top. What?
They're just done.
Fuck them.
Yeah.
Like, that's some bullshit.
Yeah,
So we're not going to lose. Obviously, Michigan's horrible.
What the
They're
ass this
horrible. They're Michigan is like one of those teams where they're always just looked at like, oh, it's fucking Michigan, it's fucking Texas, and it's like, not exactly. But the good thing is there's a real playoff system. So it's funny because in the last several years, Michigan has almost acted like, look, in 20 years, we've lost to Michigan 3 times in like 20 years.
Exactly.
The last 3 is what matters, man.
You know what I'm saying? But what's crazy is that the fucking game, I'm just going to say it, I'm a Ohio State fan. The game don't fucking matter.
Yeah, pretty much.
It's a playoff
We're
system.
already there.
Guess what?
The number
Fuck
one
the
to win
stat.
the championship should
Win
have
the
never
game.
come down to one
Stat.
fucking game. It should
Win the
never
game.
come down to one game.
Never.
Fuck the
Never.
stats. Win the
Win
game.
Exactly.
Fuck the
Exactly.
stats. Win the championship.
That's right. 110%. Because even though, they beat us, really? We got a
Doesn't
fucking
matter.
What the
Yeah.
fuck are
You know
you
what?
doing?
You
Sitting
beat us
back
the
talking
year we
about a
won
game?
the Natty also. So
Right.
I need some get back on Marv 1. He was giving us.
yeah, Marv 1 was trying to get us.
Yeah. I fuck with UC though. I fuck with UC.
Yeah.
I fuck with UC.
We blew it last night. Anyway,
Yeah.
we blew it.
Blew it.
Can you tell us about Ohio? How'd this start?
Nice. Well, the first shout out would go to one of my other mentors. So Jay Rawls, Mixed Master Ice, obviously Blueprint and Illogic. But Philly Phil from Dayton, Ohio.
Shout out
Yeah,
Philly
up,
Phil.
Philly Phil.
Philly Phil is.
Still need to get him on, bro.
You need. You need to get Philly on because the stories. Because see, he's also an artist, so he's a DJ, he's a producer. So he was one of my mentors, and in the booking world, he really helped me out. And Philly, yeah. So Philly's kind of where that all, some of that kind of all started. But what were you saying again? I lose my train of thought all the time.
Ohio, like how this culture, the Ohio culture start.
Well, he did. So I went to CCAD for graphic design illustration. So I've always done comics and drawn logos. I love advertisement art itself.
Yes.
I love it. Movie posters, album covers, things like that. So Philly started doing this Ohio by Nature. And it looks like it looks like the
Naughty by
Naughty by
Nature.
Nature
Yeah.
logo. Yep. So he kind of started doing that. And I was like, man, I really fucking love that. Do you mind? This is about so it's the 5th anniversary right now. And so it was right after COVID, right at the end of COVID. And I was like, man, I got to make some extra money. I've always talked shit about doing some brands, but I don't want to, I can't sew, I can't stitch, but I can, design. What am I going to do? You know what? I'll just start off simple with hoodies, t-shirts. We'll just start it simple. So I said to him, do you mind if I sell your Ohio by Nature? And he said, sure. So I made t-shirts and I made hoodies. And after the first year, I'm sitting there in the middle of winter and it's like 1 o'clock in the morning. And I'm just like, man, what's another fucking, I'm drawing all kinds of designs. What would work? I'm not an asshole, so I'm not trying to steal anybody's shit. I'm not a biter, hip hop, the whole thing, whatever. But there's some things that are like kosher or on the line of, and it's like, as long as you're not really, I can never monetize this. I can't copyright it. Or,
Right.
I mean, well, there's some legalness that I can do, but and at the end of the day, Wu-Tang's big. They're fucking rock stars in the world. So, they don't even accept, there's beer out there that have Wu beer.
Yep.
And Wu-Tang's never even cared or even sent them a message. So I was like, okay. So I was sitting there at 1 o'clock in the morning and I'm looking at the shape. I'm like, okay, let's start simple. What would people buy? Okay, they love Ohio. Okay, blah, blah, blah. And I'm sitting there and I'm looking at the image and I go, man, that motherfucker looks like a Wu-Tang fucking symbol.
Right.
So I took my little fucking pad and put the little fucking ovals in it and I go, fucking Ohio.
Got him.
Nice.
So I drew it and I hit up sent one to Logic, sent another to Philly. Definitely sent one to Philly. And I sent it to a couple people. I was like, what do you all think? Philly hits me back at like 6 fucking M. Like I'm dead asleep at this point. And he hits me back up and he's like, bro, you got something.
Nice.
So I was like, all right. So I made the originals I made was just gray shirt with Timberland. I had him custom, not gold. I had him literally match fucking Timberlands. So I had him match that gold, sent me a fucking logo, and the rest was history.
Bro, we need
That's
we need to
dope,
do a
man.
trade out. We'll send you,
You
some
got the
destroy
wheat
all
Wuhan.
podcast shirts. We need
Yes.
we need 5 of these stat.
Yeah.
I got you.
Yeah,
I did
bro.
a special one for the run for the Wu-Tang and Run the Jewels. When
Yeah.
they went on the tour, I got a special one that's got like a skeleton, kind of looks like a punk rock shirt. And it's like a skeleton hand, Run the Jewels, and he's hanging. It says Run Ohio. Look, text me what your
Yeah.
guys' sizes are. I'll send them to
Absolutely.
you. I
Yeah,
got you.
we'll do an even exchange. We want you to have some of ours too.
Yeah. Hell
Yeah.
yeah. Hell yeah.
Oh, man.
Anybody.
Has there anybody like do you have any like a big one that got away stories as far as like I want to sign this guy but it didn't work out or this act?
I don't know. Like as far as like signing, as a side note, real quick, like I've one of the things that I stand on, and this is kind of a part of back to the previous conversation. I learned that, do you even know what a signature is? Do you even need to be signed?
Wow.
What does that mean? I'm signing you. What does that mean? It just means that Grant's booking you and I'm looking to put you in a position. But do we have any money right now that's coming to where you need to pay me or we need to have a contract? So with paperwork or signing an artist, I would approach an artist like, hey, this is like, I wouldn't approach him like, I'm going to sign you. Blah, blah, blah. I never did that. I kept it personal and more real to where I'd say, hey, I fuck with your music. I do booking. Here's some individuals I work with. You got me excited. Here's my email. If I hear from you, you're serious. If I don't hear from you, then we probably don't need to be talking. Doesn't mean that we can't be friends. Doesn't mean that I'm not going to dap you up. But I'm moving at a fucking rabbit's pace. So if you don't even hit me back, which doesn't mean I'm anything, but if you don't hit me back, then that's the answer anyways. But I would never hit anybody with like trying to sign them or anything. Most of the signing I've done was booking contract, consulting contract, or tour management. But as far as the one that got away, y'all gonna fucking hate me. So I had a chance. So I booked. Okay, so I booked Wiz Khalifa. Myself and a couple other partners, obviously. We booked Wiz Khalifa. So it was like our show, and I had him for. This was before Black and Yellow.
Woo.
I had him for 700. We had him for $750
Before Black and
before
Yellow.
Black and Yellow. You want to know how long before Black and Yellow?
A week.
10 days to the date.
Oh,
He calls us up before the song hits on any radios, anywhere, and says, I need like 1,500 to 2,000. We kind of thought it was a little confusing, went online, checked a little bit, and was like, oh, he's about to drop some songs. His label, remember, because it was a label.
Yeah. Good question.
what was Wiz Khalifa? They're collective. So we knew that he was about to get signed and something was happening. We didn't know what was happening, but there's a reason why. We gladly did it. Still had a fucking line out the door at Scully. Shout out to Scully's and Johnny Vishak. He was the manager at the time, and we stacked that place. So
Taylor
the
Gang.
point of that conversation was right around that same time, there was a lot of individuals. He had his Pennsylvania crew.
Yeah.
And
Taylor
one
Gang.
of those, as we know, rest in peace, was the infamous Mac Miller. Mac Miller had just dropped Kids, the mixtape Kids.
Yeah.
This was before fuck Donald Trump, which it still is, but all day. Shooter shouldn't have missed.
Damn.
Put that shit online.
It's there.
It's there.
So, yeah. So he released the mixtape Kids, and I got the fucking email. Like, yo, hey, there's this guy, Mac Miller. He's connected with damn it, what is their label? What was their
Taylor
imprint?
Gang. Taylor Gang.
Taylor, yeah, the Taylor Gang. So we get hit up, and I booked several people from Taylor Gang. Not Mac, though. So I get this fucking email, and it's like, hey, we've been working with, it was almost like they were even saying, you know of this guy, we're working with them. It wasn't even like we're part of Taylor Gang, which he technically was,
Right.
but he was so young where it was that when Kids dropped, it was still like Wiz didn't even know yet. So I had him, dude. I had it for $250.
Holy crap.
250, 300 bucks. All in.
wow.
Maybe a hotel. Maybe plus a hotel.
Yeah, I'm gonna need somewhere to stay.
Yeah.
Yeah, clearly.
I want to stay.
And,
Hotel
and I got him, and I said, man, okay, Kids, okay, I like that movie, I remember it. Okay, he's using that whole thing. Okay, I get it. And I looked it up. I didn't spend. I should have spent more time, but I didn't. And the immediate thing, and I kick myself in the ass every time. And I think I want to say maybe the Donald Trump song came out right at that time or something. And I was like, oh, I thought it was too. I was such in my fucking conscious bag that I was like, oh, this is too poppy. This is too poppy.
Yeah.
So I turned it down.
Man. Hey, what's your favorite year of hip hop?
My favorite year?
Yeah.
Jesus Christ. Favorite. Oh, favorite year. Well, you know what? Fuck that. There's a bunch of years we could sit here and all argue from the 80s, the 90s,
Yeah.
2000s, not much past the mid 2000s, but as far as like a year just being immaculate. 1998. 1998 was the year I graduated. We had Outcast, So Fresh and or Aquemini. Aquemini. We had I was looking at these the other day. I got a Letterman jacket that I'm gonna put my favorite albums from that year. But Beastie Boys, Intergalactic came out. Tribe's album came out that a lot of people put on the lower end, but I fucking loved it.
Beats, Rhymes, and Life.
Yeah, Beach Rhymes and Life. Yep.
Sleeper.
Sleeper. Obviously, Wu Tang, Double Disc. I think
Triumph.
Forever.
Forever.
Yeah, Forever.
Yeah.
I'm gonna.
You're right.
I'll say not. Yeah, I'll say 98. Most Def, Talib Kweli,
Yeah.
Black Star.
Yeah.
DMX. It's dark.
Yeah. Oh. There was so many that I was like, I had to choose 5 to put on my Letterman jacket because I wanted to put like 10 or 12. Yeah.
Definitely a good year.
Oh yeah.
And especially 95 to 99.
Oh, yeah.
95 to 99. Woo!
Golden era.
Mhm.
Yeah, golden era, baby.
That was probably
That's
the
right.
best run of hip hop
Yeah.
from any level.
I like 2000 to 2010.
Yes. I
There's
mean,
a
2000 to 2010, they are you
Right.
can't deny it.
Yep.
I wouldn't put it next to 89 to 99, but it's right there. It's right there. That time frame from like 95 to 2005, some of the most growth
Exactly.
of
Mhm.
hip hop happened.
It was moving everywhere
100%.
across the nation. Like we were
Oh.
starting to go into Atlanta deeper than the Outcasts and Goody Mob.
Household name. Now it's household.
Yep.
Mhm.
So
Mhm.
how do we stop artists from rapping over their lyrics like it's karaoke on stage and taking this
Look
on
at it.
tour
Look at Grant.
and making money off of it just to see hip hop karaoke for 2.5 hours with 20,000 dudes,
$200 hip hop karaoke. 2 hours.
and it costs you $200 a ticket. How
The
do we
only
stop
thing
that?
the only thing that can happen is oh, Jesus. It's very clear that it's proof that people don't listen. And they don't listen to their mentors and teachers. But the best thing we can do is what J. Rawls and Pete Rock and all these individuals are doing, which is just no matter if we're on stage or off stage or in between, we just got to keep pushing and teaching. That's the only thing we can do. I want to give a big shout out to Marcel P. Black, my boy. If you guys don't know about Marcel P. Black, look him up. He's completely independent, same realm as the copies and the blueprints and the Illogics from Middle America down south. That is Marcel P. Black. He branded real MCs don't rap over vocals, and he branded that. He's got that copyrighted and everything.
Nice.
Yep.
It's atrocious.
No, it's amateur, and you're not paying attention. If you're in a craft, you're not paying attention. You need to know your history. Doesn't mean you need to know every single person from 1822 that came by and did this.
Right.
But you need to know and be aware of the culture and to understand what it means to rhyme without needing that, because that's the point. The point of it is you're learning to be an entertainer.
Right.
Arts and entertainment. You're learning to entertain. When you're just rapping on your lyrics and you're doing that, and it's become a trend and it's become a point to where I think it's fucking criminal and ruining things. It's and ruining the culture, really. It's detrimental. And it makes you look like
Vaudevillian.
worthless. Makes you look
Vaudevillian.
worthless.
There needs to be a level of respect for craftsmanship, and the craftsmanship is being to get on that stage with no backdrop lyrics and perform for a paying audience. We've paid to be here, entertain me with what you know, what you've written.
Yeah.
Yes.
Used to kill me
100%.
in Mad Frog nights when every act did that, bro.
Oh.
I know it's like an open mic
Oh.
thing, but now's the time
To practice.
to practice.
This is where you mess up.
yeah.
Well,
This is where
right.
you
That's what
mess
I'm
up.
saying. It's like sound. Rather, it's sound check and a mic check and a true sound check. Oh well, we're hip hop. We don't need to. Yes, you fucking do.
You.
Yeah.
You need to know how the mic travels in this particular stage and how this venue is going to work with the type of music you have and having your backing tracks and everything set up. And it's a practice. You
Yeah.
go home, you practice, and you come back, you get on stage. And people, even individuals who aren't even, I mean, we've all seen it. I have watched an artist, or no, fans. I've watched random people, no clue what they're even walking into in the independent world or whatever. And next thing you know, they're seeing an artist that is at full package, independent or not,
Yeah.
got a second job or not.
Yeah.
They're watching this individual. I know individuals that are more professional than dudes with contracts making $1 million out there.
I bet.
That would fucking murder, that if they had the opportunity, would make them look amateur. It's sad. It's sad.
Right. So, in this world of, say TikTok artists, how would you guide someone who gained popularity really quick through TikTok, but they're trying to get some longevity out of what they've created? How would you help that individual move past that?
Move past just thinking that they're just thinking that they're going to do TikTok and become famous, kind of a thing.
Exactly.
Like they got 7 seconds of fame from a song they've created.
5 million views,
50 million views. How do I grow past that point? Because people are coming to hear the 7 seconds.
Yes.
Well, that's a great question. What I would try to do, rather they would listen or not, is a different story. But what I would try to do is explain to them that if you're a doctor and you get a degree to be a doctor, you are always going to be able to get a job. Even if you have a degree, somebody knows it, hospitals, whatever. Okay. In entertainment, you're not guaranteed anything.
Right.
Even in that world, you're not guaranteed everything. So I would explain to them that arts and entertainment is something that we all can sit here and say that our hearts and our brains and our souls need. But in reality, people don't need. They do. I'd argue how important film and the arts are for people's mental states on stage and off the stage. But as we know, it's art. So
Right.
it's not necessarily something you have to breathe and eat and survive and get to work and pay bills, whatever. You guys know what I'm getting at.
Right.
So I would tell an artist that I would look at him right and say, okay, well, what am I doing tomorrow? What are you doing tomorrow? You're going to sit down and you're going to figure out the next video to do.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
What do you mean? You're not done. You're not done at all. This is golf. You're playing until you fucking can't swing.
Right.
And if you don't think that you are, this is not the sport for you to be involved in.
Love it.
It is 100% all the time.
So that's what I think these people need to hear, because they think, oh, I just did it on TikTok and I got all these views, I got everything. I'm gonna be.
It's not going to last forever.
Yeah.
Well, rewind.
Yeah.
The question you're asking right now, if you asked it 15 years ago, your question would be, what do you say to an artist that had one single that got played on a radio FM station and people picked it up? What would you say? It'd be the same concept. Go back in the studio and continue to create music.
Create music.
Yep.
Nice.
Yep.
Do more shows.
Longevity is based on how much art you are making. If you just think you're going to get in there and have a one-hit radio song or a one-hit TikTok online, even if you do, if you think that's going to carry you, you're wrong. Because guess what? Look, here's the biggest thing in the industry. This is what happens everywhere. Man, what'd you do? Oh, I had the single. I had the single. Got picked up. I got this record. Oh, that's cool. That's cool. That's cool.
What's next?
What are you doing next?
Yep.
Mhm. Yeah.
What's
Oh, so
next?
ride this thing till the wheels fall.
Art is completely what's next. We
Yep.
put all this time in craft. We're sitting there stressed. That's why Rick Rubin, one of my heroes, talks about just put it out. Success is putting out art, and you're never going to see the next successful moment unless you continue to do that. And if you're not continuing and planning on always creating, then you're literally going to be a one-hit wonder, or you're going to be forgotten,
You're
or
gonna
you're
be
not going to be able to have, well, like you said, longevity.
right. I want you to, before we get out of here, I want you to speak to the people who are finding themselves in a position to do what you are doing, galvanizing people, organizing to put art in a place of perspective. I want you to speak to like the grind and the discipline and what keeps you going.
um it's it's tough. Speaking on that, that's a great question. As we know, every one of us here, rather we have researched each other or not, I tried to find out stuff with all you guys and get to build, and we're going to continue to build for sure. So
Yes,
it's all family.
absolutely.
But depression's a motherfucker.
Ain't it though?
Mental health is a motherfucker.
Ain't it though?
Men don't want to talk about that. Our society of men don't want to talk about it. And fucking especially hip hop and rap doesn't want to talk about it. And over the years in our generation, through the most deaths and the conscious music and the recognition of what is care, you shout out to Karis One, um, there has been recognition of those things. But as we know, as a creative, you have 1 million no's to one yes. And so
Exactly.
that's what we're working for.
Mhm.
If we want to be successful beyond just doing something in the basement, or even the guys that never get out of the basement or the
Yep.
studio, what keeps them from that? And it's mental health, it's
Mhm.
fear of not making it or whatever it is and not being good enough, all the shit that all of us have heard and deal with ourselves.
Mhm.
And that's the toughest thing is, how do you keep going? How do you stay motivated? Well, the best thing that I would say is that's different for everybody. That's different, but you have to find what motivates you, and you have to stick with it. I mean, how many artists do we know, including individuals I work with, where, hey, what's so and so up to? Doesn't mean that having kids is wrong. Doesn't mean that having a family. Doesn't mean that moving. Doesn't mean that altering your art from one media to another media. Doesn't mean that now you're just doing it for more of fun and not necessarily something to be financially successful at. There's nothing wrong with any of that.
Mhm.
But if you want this to be your craft that you are successful in, rather you end up hitting it big or not, you just have to want it so bad.
Mm-hmm.
And I think for me, hip hop itself and the music, I heard Blueprint's record the other day, De La Souls. I got to pause for a moment because I can't get emotional. When I heard Blueprint's latest record and some of the songs he plays in his catalog, all the way up to guys like Common Sense and J Live, and shout out, rest in peace. And with De La Soul's record, that shit makes me cry. That shit, I listened to a record. I listened to one of those records and I'm down. And I'm like, yeah, maybe I'm not going to do this. And during my Ohio years, I was by myself. I was like, I'm done with this. Am I even going to continue?
Mhm.
And these records came out, and these people and friends that I know helped me through it. and you listen to this record, next thing you know, you could be down. Next thing you know, you pop in this record, song, album, whatever, and I'm just absolutely goosebumps, full-fledged. Oh man, I'm back on my grind. And I think that's the biggest thing is continuing to listen and be around other positive and like-minded people to
I love
help you.
Right.
Yep.
Definitely.
Surround yourself with other creatives. 100%. 100%.
For sure.
Grant, this
Yeah.
has been incredible. We're gonna have to chop it up again. We got a lot of big things. We could use your help. We could
I'm
use
sorry if I talk too much. I'm
No,
sorry.
we love it. We love it.
That's why you were on, bro.
You're an incredible guest. You're incredible craftsman. You're an incredible mind, and we appreciate you joining us on the Destroy All podcast. We got big things coming in the next 24 months. We will need like a little input. We know you have the know-how, and we're trying to learn the know-how. So
Yeah. Yeah.
absolutely.
I got no problem what to divulge because my grandmother, she was a English teacher for 50 years, and she didn't follow the norm. She didn't follow all the rules and regulations. She created her own path, and she used it as guidelines. And I always look at it. I would always say to her, we would always say to each other, she didn't know nothing about rap and hip hop. But she understood my passion of what it was and understood music. And we would always say, where's the rule book for that? Sometimes you got to take a guideline and an outline and run with what works for you. And I think that's one of the greatest things that you can do as a teacher or an artist or both yourself. But yeah.
We love you, bro. Thank you for showing up.
Yeah.
Once again,
man.
another destructive episode of Destroy All Podcast. General 5.
Yeah.
Lieutenant 1 Luno. Chef Joey Bolo.
Shalom, bitch.
Rare Groove. Me, I'm 3. Please like, share, subscribe. You may gain clearance. Special shout out. Blessings to our guest, Grant Gatsby, Columbus, Ohio. Thank you for the wisdom and the insight and the funny moments. We appreciate you. And until next time, we all say, don't leave. Peace.
Peace.
Destroy All Podcast. We are Destroy All Microbots.